You lose a lot of friends when you're in the evenings. I accepted it because you're like the people do other stuff. And then I have the networking on Thursdays, which are my going out days because I'm already at networking. And then I do the ladies' night event. Then on Saturday, what is considered like my free time, from 3 p.m. I do 2 hours of tennis. I do like maybe 1 hour of golf practice. Then I go out to the bar and I have a cigar and I chill and I greet my clients. And that's it. All right.
You make it sound so easy.
But I live by this rule. I hopefully it's effective for others. And I got it from my very good friend. It's the 40-20 or 40-30-20-10 rule. So 40% you spend on your family, 30% you spend on work to make money for your family, 20% you spend on your health to be healthy for your family, and then 10% of entertainment, things you do for yourself in order to balance the 90%. So I actually broke down the hours that I spend doing these things, and I got it down to a T exactly how many hours I do each of these activities to maintain that balance.
Can you talk a little bit about how, like, our still accounting in Vietnam is totally different, right? Like, I've heard like you do business here, don't try to do it with the States, like you got to hire a Vietnam accountant, right? Like how is accounting different here?
Sure. Hopefully it's going to get closer and closer to international GAAP principles. Here are three prime examples, and I advise this every day. Is in the US, for example, when you use your business bank account, you just use your card. Everywhere you go, you slide your card, it goes to your bank account, it's all tracked in your statement, you deduct taxes, right? Here, you have to get a red invoice, which is attached to your ID. They went to digital, but before that, you had the vendor had to actually physically fill this paper out. It would take like 10 minutes after you finish with your meal that says, this company has this tax ID, spent this much money itemized, and you have to hold on to that for 3 years to file your taxes. So tedious, right? And another loophole is anybody can pay and still get the tax invoice, right? Whereas US, you got to pay with your company card to get the invoices, but here anybody can pay. So that's a loophole in the tax. Two is quarterly tax filings for everybody, regardless of income or gross income. Three is any money that goes into your business bank account under the new rules has to be a wire transfer, for example, right? So some of those, and now over 20 million, you have to do Face ID. Like you literally have to show your face on the app before you can transfer $1,000. So with that said, it's just hard to understand the mentality if you're trying to do your own taxes in Vietnam. They have proposed to go to an international standard, like the GAAP principles, but it hasn't been adopted yet. But a few things that Vietnam has done that helps. One is going to digital invoices. So now you just give them your information and then they'll send you an email and your accountant can keep track of that. That's probably one of the biggest things that helps with the tax deductions and then bookkeeping and accounting in Vietnam.
So why should a company in another country of the world, doesn't matter the country, why should a company in another country want to do business here in Vietnam?
Sure. So there are a couple of really good factors. One is the cost of labor, even though it's not as cheap as they think, but it's still relatively more inexpensive, especially the lower skilled jobs. For example, if you do high-end manufacturing, you can get about $150 per month, but in China it's about 320. So it's about half. Two is so we talk about workforce availability and the amount of work that they do. Two is infrastructure development. There's growing infrastructure development that allows you to build and also export manufacturing in Vietnam. I think three is also lifestyle. I always say you can actually make good money here